Rocco,
Yeah.
swinging over to you, buddy.
Okay, yeah.
The heartthrob. What's your topic?
Let's do this one. I'm a parent nowadays, and what I want to do is I want to kind of talk a little bit about some of the changes that happen as becoming a parent mentally, like your perspective change, how you perceive reality, I guess. So first off, I'm going to start it with I had a friend that some of us know, and I was in college at the time, and he was a friend that tended to be a little bit more of the party animal, having fun. I guess you can label it if you want to as being more immature at the time, just being young. And he gave me a call one day and said, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna have a kid." You know, I'm like, what? Like, I haven't heard from you in a quick second. Now you're telling me you're gonna have a kid. Like, and I'm sitting there and I'm doing my thing just like we all do. And I'm not saying that it's right, but I did some judging in my mind, like, oh man, like knowing who you are and what you know, this and that. I wonder what that's gonna be like. You know, you're gonna have this kid, and I wonder how you're gonna be as a father and whatnot. This changed this kid's life. Like, it changed his life. He did a complete 180. No longer he was that kid that was out wild doing all these different things. He started, it's like he settled down in this thing, started wanting a job, a career. His life changed, everything changed. And as an outsider, being still young at the time in college, I was like, whoa, what just happened to this friend? Like, he's totally different. Not that I don't like, I love this kid, but he's a completely different kid, And where I had thought that he was going to fail, he's now surviving and thriving, and it's pretty cool. And when I had a kid who is now 4 years old, I kind of went through the same experience. And it was being able to see him and how he went through that experience, I was kind of more aware of what I was going through personally. And it was a big difference. I went from having fun, being 24 years old, just drinking and doing our things and going out to the club or the next party or the next thing, finding my girl and settling down, but still having our fun, as young couples and going out and doing our stuff. And then when a baby came around, it was like, I'm not kidding. There was for guys, we can have, the women can be pregnant for 9 months. And nothing changes for us. I could still jump on trampolines, snort coke if I want to, do all these other crazy things. You can do whatever.
Example.
Jump,
Okay.
jump.
Fun life, sir.
No, I'm just saying. Not that I've ever done that. I'm just.
I mean,
saying,
Rocco, if you wanted to, you can get butt
I'm just
naked
saying.
in a room with a big TV
And I could
watch
drink
porn.
beers all day. I could do anything I want to. Exactly. So I could do anything I want to, and my life doesn't change until that baby's born, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom. Now nothing's the same. So we get hit hard with it, and your mind changes. You start to become about, it's no longer me and what I can want to do. I have to now I have to think about and be responsible for this child. That's not like a dog that I can put food in the bowl and water in the bowl, and then I can leave for a few hours if I have to go do work or whatnot.
Alan's questioning that.
So like things like that start to change. Your perspective starts to change on like what you got to do in life. What direction you want to go in life. The people you're responsible for. You can't even just get up and go to the grocery store if you want to without planning this. So everything in your life changes. And first off, I want to talk to, Steven about it too, because I know that you have some kids. Clay, I know you're going to be having a kid coming up. I want to see the perspective change you got going on there. And I want to hear from the two that don't have kids yet and where they still might be with their perspective, because I'm 4 years deep and my shit's changed. So let's start with Steve-O, though.
Hang on, I'll be right back. I got to take this.
You went to Incubus recently with your teenage daughter, which is older than my 4-year-old son. Tell me a little bit about your perspective with being a parent there.
Oh, well, we just went to go see Incubus and Deftones. It was her first concert. We wanted to take her to her first concert because she's like, I was in the stage where, you're trying to find yourself, basically, and just like trying to figure out who you are and everything like that. And she has this one friend she talks to, and, I know the whole like influence with your, other friends that you have to, but she's like all into like, I guess, Sleeping Sirens and Pierce the Veil, or like they're all like goth bands type things and everything like that. So anyways, she's, I guess, going through the stage where she just like doesn't want to act like anything's like fun or like want to smile or anything like that and everything like that.
At least around
like,
the parents, right?
Or at least well, even then I think, I don't know, but like it's just like I call it, doing the Kanye,
Yeah,
like
I got you.
But Yeah, no, like yeah, we went there and everything like that. We're trying to get her into it and everything, and I know she's having a good time and everything like that. But it's just like she's just like in that,
gotta put on the persona, man.
Yeah, exactly. You got to put on the persona.
So since becoming a parent and having these kind of experiences with Bella and whatnot, how do you feel that you might have personally changed yourself from before being a parent? You know. Because now your life's not like you're out there just enjoying the Incubus concert with your girl. You know what I mean? Like, well, not saying that you still didn't do that. I'm just saying, like, but now you got a parenting perspective also.
We don't know if he just left his daughter there. You know, hey, you stay here. We're gonna go over here.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still there.
We don't know that.
No, well, I mean, you guys basically all know me. Rocco knows me. I mean, I pretty much haven't changed really at all. Yeah. Like, I've always been like a one girl
bad boy.
person. Yeah, one girl person and everything like that. I never really did anything crazy. And, if you watch our past podcasts, I thought you guys were crazy for doing like certain, like jumping out of planes and stuff like that. But no, I mean, my perspective definitely is. I guess I would say like I definitely want to embark like on more things. On more things with them. Like just like I kind of want to get her out of her shell, but the other thing is I kind of want to like let her do her own thing, you know what I mean? Because if I push too hard, she's just going to rebel even more.
This is an obvious too. So like, parenting also has its stages. So right now I'm in the kind of the younger stage. Steve-O's in the more teenage stage. So the way parenting is going to be a little bit more different for him is look at how he's stating, they're going to, be acting. I don't want to smile.
Yeah. And the funny thing is too, is like, like Amber was saying, like, it's new for us and everything like that. And the thing is, she's saying that, oh, well, that's just Bella, and and that's Kira. Kira's my 10-year-old, or actually she's 11-year-old right now, and they're two completely different people. But the thing is, you still go through those stages. Like, so, like, I'm telling her, it's like, Kira's gonna go through that stage. She's going to middle school now. She's in 6th. She's going to, she's gonna go into 6th grade, and right around 6th and 7th grade, Bella's the one that really started changing, like the whole, I don't want to have any fun or anything like that. Like, I'm embarrassed. Like, you're just doing that. And Kira's really starting to get there right now. And it's like, I'm just like, yep. It was like, next year you're going to be like, you're not going to think you're cool and everything like that anymore. So,
yeah.
Are you trying to soak it up? Just like kind of cherish this last couple of months that you
have? Honestly, yeah, we are. Because like, she'll like get in the goofy mood and like start dancing around and everything that like that. Dude. But like, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You refocused. This is just like crazy, reminding me of the movie Inside Out, which is an absolutely amazing Pixar movie. If you guys haven't seen it,
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna shift this one over to Clay because I want to hear some from Clay real quick. You're about to become a father, and I want to know, is there you're at that 0 stage.
Yeah.
I'm in like the 2, 3 maybe. Steve-O's in the 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
What is there anything small changing right now in your minds? Is there anything at all changing? And kind of let me know what's going on subjectively with you as the idea of a parent.
I would say that it's really about organization and about priorities. I think if anything, this is with the podcast, with my career, with like me time, with wife.
Yeah.
Husband time, and then now it's baby time, and so I am mentally preparing myself and preparing my schedule to be able to balance all of these things. And and then there's like working out, and it's just like trying to figure out like really what are the things that I have to prioritize, and what does my week look like and my weekend look like, so that I can fit in everything, so I can feel like a human being. I can do my hobbies, I can nourish the marriage. And I can also make sure that my baby is going to have like the best childhood and the best things that I can provide for them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just I'm just constantly thinking about how to balance all of those things. Another big thing that I think people might mention who are listening is like, well, what about financials? What about like setting? We've talked about this. I'm paranoid and obsessed about things like that. So I've been thinking about this stuff since Sarah and I actually like first started dating. I'm like, okay, cool. We're probably gonna get married. We're probably gonna have kids. This is great. I have to set up a 529 plan so they can go to college. I have to set up this stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm already like in that department. I feel like we're pretty darn secure. We're even thinking about the next house that we might buy for kids and a dog and like all that stuff. So I've kind of nailed that down, and now it's about how do I have enough hours in the day to do the things that I need to do to be a great husband, a great father, and like
still live your own life,
games, and advance in my career, and like do what I love doing as well, not only in my career but with you guys in this podcast, and like how does all that stuff live in my world?
And I'm glad that you said that, because that's one of the toughest challenges as a parent, is finding that balance of being able to do all those things, because that's where becoming a parent starts to change, because your clock gets be prepared for unexpected things too.
No sleep.
Well, that is that's a given. But unexpected things, I mean, so you wanted to drive from point A to point B, and you didn't expect that your kid was going to accidentally drop his crayons that were going to melt into your car.
Right.
So unexpected. Be prepared for those things, these bumps in the roads,
That's such a good point. I was just talking to somebody at work about that exact same thing, and it was very quickly obvious. I was like, yeah, you're right. This kind of reminds me of our old topic that we were talking about, like, are you spontaneous? And I need to be accepting more of a spontaneous, like, unexpected kind of. And for those who want to listen to that podcast, you can go over to youtube.com/MasterGamers channel. You can check that out.
Yep.
But like, it was pretty much, I can't come home thinking I'm going to eat, I'm going to play video games, I'm going to go to bed, because I can come home and I can see poop and crayons on the wall, and I'm like, well, I'm going to spend the rest of the night cleaning that up. Sorry, guys, I can't jump on. So having that mentality is also something I'm trying to implement.
Right. I gotcha. So let me bring it to the single guys. I mean, not single guys, the guys without kids, I guess we're going to say. What you guys have nieces and nephews, I believe, right? Both you guys, okay. So you've had some experience with them and stuff too, and you've seen some of the, at least being able to semi-parent and then send them off sugared up if you need to. So what's your guys' take on it too? So let me hear about, from you guys. Are you guys, do you have the intent of eventually in the future having children? And what do you think your expectations are of what you think you might possibly go through changing as a, from a man without a child to a man with a child? Perspective.
I'll kick it off. Basically, Rocco knows this. I have a bunch of nieces and nephews. I'm one of 4 children, and I'm the only one that doesn't have a kid yet. So I think I dodged a bullet. I'm kidding.
Keep it real.
A few of them. I'm joking. But no, honestly, my wife and I, we're going to be trying here towards the end of the year. I turned 30, so I said, hey, when I'm 30 years old, that's when I'm going to start that part of my
milestone.
life. Yeah. And what's funny, though, is that I have an older sister, like I've told you guys. So I have she's almost 17-year-old niece. And when I was in 8th grade.
Wow.
Yeah. When I was in 8th grade, Rocco actually helped me. I used to babysit her. So all summer, my job was to babysit her every day. So I grew up taking care of kids. I'm not too worried about it. I definitely want kids. I just said, hey, I'm going to enjoy my life while I'm young, doing all kinds of stuff.
Well, you kind of knew what it took. Yeah, exactly. You get that experience there, you're like, shit, I'm waiting for 30 on that one.
I'm going to enjoy this while I have it. But so actually next month I'll be 30. So at that point, that's when we're going to start trying. So I have the experience with kids, and I'll tell you, being an uncle is the best thing in the world, because when shit starts hitting the fan, like, that's not my kid. Just send him off.
That's not my.
He pooped.
So I can't wait to see how you react when it is your kid.
That's awesome.
So what about you?
Yeah.
Okay, so little backstory. My parents were both pretty old when they had my sister and myself. We're just 4 years apart to my sister, and she's 4 years older. My dad was 40, and my mom was 38 when they had me. Okay, so they experienced the joys of their young life without children, like BC before children. Yeah. So, right now, I think it's in the plan. The plan is to have kids in the future. Like Yukiko and I talk about it all the time. I think both of us, in general, have like the idea of having kids. But right now, I think both of us still feel we're probably too immature, like we still want to focus too much on ourselves, that we're not ready to have kids at this moment.
Well, I wouldn't call that immature. That just
you know what I mean.
Actually, it's actually mature because you know what you want right now. Instead of being that parent that like.
So it is mature, but like we don't feel like we're mature enough for kids.
Right.
Like,
that's how I
to take care of them.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted. I mean, and of course, there's always like the questions of like, when you have your wife or girlfriend or whatever, like the biological clock, it's something like all women are thinking about, like, like if I'm too old, like there might be more complications with my child or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's always kind of like in the back of our mind as well. I'm turning 30 this year. Yukiko's turning undisclosed number this year.
Good save.
Just in case she watches this. So yeah, it's like something that's always in the back of your head. But however, like I agree with Ian. Being an uncle is awesome. I have a nephew that is 4 years old, or turning 5 now, and then a niece that's turning 2. And interacting with them is like so incredible. Like it's awesome to be with them. Like not just like the funkle, like the fun uncle and everything, but like also actually taking care of them for real. But it is nice because like every time I come home after visiting them, it sets me back wanting to have kids like another year. Like I'm just like Jesus Christ. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. So like when you guys get into that moment, do you guys think you're gonna have some mental changes, both of you two, Ian and Alan? Do you think? How do you? I
think I'll have to.
Yeah,
I think I'll have to because even right now, so I have like ADD, ADHD, whatever you call it. And for me, like I have a really hard time, like when I want to do like right then, that's just going to stimulate my brain. So like I have like probably a hard time, like if I want to play video games, like I'll be like thinking about that. And then all of a sudden, like you said, I'll have to come take care of this child when I get home instead. And so I feel like my organization, like you were saying, Clay, would have to take like a huge, like step up right now, because right now it is pretty lacking. So I'm enjoying the what they call the dinks lifestyle, double income, no kids.
Nice. That's right.
I like that.
And there's still try to travel, like go on trips while we can. I think we still want to do a lot of traveling before we have kids too, because Yukiko and I both really like going to different places.
See, now that does make it difficult. We are traveling with our kids. Like we've taken ours to Peru and stuff like that, and in Mexico.
And I'm sure that's really difficult at some times.
It's difficult though. It is. I mean, but it's something that we want to be travelers as well. But we also knew we wanted to be young parents, so we had to make that. We're like, okay, if we're going to do this, then we need to know that a sacrifice we're making is that when we go to travel, we're going to be bringing our kids. We say it as a sacrifice, but it does make it harder. Okay, so instead of being able to stay out and go find out what the club scene is like, or the nice, awesome nightlife, you got to close it down, close shop out at like 9 o'clock wherever you're at, because you got kids with you. Exactly, and sit in the hotel for the rest of the night. But
really quick point too, like we mentioned dinks, and like I don't want anybody to be watching this and thinking like we're advocating that you have to have kids. I think it's also like
no.
Like it would be interesting to hear someone's perspective of those who just don't want kids and why.
Yeah,
and like you know what I mean? Like
I've actually thought about that sometimes, like not having kids. Like sometimes, like I said, I think about having kids in the future, but then I also, because of like both of us kind of feel like selfish or whatever, I feel like I could live a life without having a child of my own as well.
I went through that stage. I thought about it, but I honestly like the interactions that I've had with my dad and stuff like that. I kind of want that when I'm older, and I don't want to miss out on that. So
that's what's important to note, because like Alan, I think it's awesome that you're humble enough to say something like that it's selfish, but I really don't believe that that's true. I think that's society's pressure to make you feel like it's selfish, right?
Yeah.
Because like it's really about, do you want someone to be there? Like, do you feel the need that you want those types of relationships that Ian was just talking about, or do you feel it could be coming from a place of fear that you want someone there when you get older to take care of? Do you want to pass on your genes? Like, people might not just have those urges or wants, and then they don't, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not selfish.
And maybe those kind of feelings don't happen until you start getting older either.
Right.
Like right now it sounds like nice, like, oh, I'm self-sufficient, I don't feel like I need anybody my older age, but who knows, people when they get 40, 50, they start, getting later on in their life, and they're thinking, well, it'd be great to have somebody else here with me at the same time, like not just your spouse or whatever. But
I don't see it like a selfish thing either, though, Alan, too, because if you guys yourself well enough that you know that you don't want to have a child, then you're a perfect person to not be the parent at that time in your life. Then you know what I mean. And instead of going and being a parent, and you be like, oh, I know I don't want to have a kid, and oops, we have a kid. Like, damn. Now that's not a I don't like it, let me go put it over here. That's a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, and not that adoption can't happen for people out there. You could do kind of stuff, but still, like, good. I'm glad that you're a person that can sit back and say, right now, having a child is not for me. and I'm going to choose to not do that because that's the best thing. Because I would rather the people out there being the parents are the ones that are like, I need to be a parent because that is who I am, and I want to do that, and I'm going to dedicate everything to that. And the person that's like, I don't really know about it right now, then stay out of it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question about that. So, do you ever have question? I don't think philosophical is the right word, but maybe the cosmic perspective of having more children and populating the Earth more and more to kind of exponential levels as the population grows. The growth will increase every year and year, because when we were kids, I think the population of the Earth was 6 billion people, right?
Yeah.
And so now it's going to be 10
I
billion. It's going to be 10 billion within 5 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So you're wondering what our thoughts are on that, or
what how you feel about that? Because I've actually considered I don't want to have not just because I'm not ready for kids, but do I want to have kids for
to add to that mass amount?
Well, think about this:
the biological blueprint on the Earth, right?
Yeah.
Well, take a step back. We are bacteria on the Earth.
I love the Joe Rogan thing.
I've thought
I love the Joe Rogan's quote on that one.
Yep.
I eat the dirty sandwich, or I eat the moldy sandwich.
I think cosmic or the meta level of okay, I'm adding a kid to this pool of things I thought about that, but my brain quickly goes from that level down a little bit lower to the point of okay, I'm adding it to the pool. Is this pool dirty? Is this pool clean enough? It is weird. I do have those thoughts where it's man, I hope I'm bringing a life into a world that is going to be better and not worse.
Right.
But it's so hard because that.
Here's the thing too, though, Clay, to give you a perspective on that, I really feel like the society stems from the parenting. Okay, so if you're a good parent and you treat your kids real well and you treat I don't know, just something that is morally correct, okay? I don't care what else there is there, but just be morally correct with the society as a whole. That will make a big difference. That will clean the water if the water is dirty. Sure. You know what I mean? Because that's now another human being going out there and they're going to help clean it. And it starts really at that home level, at that parent level, because then they go out there and they take from what they've learned from their parent and then they go and express that in society, and then they either grab some new stuff and add some stuff, or they let some stuff go. But if you give them that great foundation, they'll know how to say, I don't want to do that because I know that that's not the right thing to do, and I'm not going to choose to do that out of fear or anything. I'm going to choose it because I'm a good human being and I don't want to do it. And that starts with the parenting. And that will clean the water. They can have 10 billion people then. What if 3 billion are now added that all have that nice parenting there? That could make a huge difference on the world and the blueprint and change the direction of the world. But I don't know if the parents that are like that are the ones that are having the number going from 6 billion to 10 billion.
Right. It just sounds more and more like Idiocracy as we talk about this.
Yeah, I just watched that the other day. It's great.
Nice.
It's great.
Big ass fries.
Yeah, exactly.
Go away, baiting.
Yeah.
So I like you guys' perspectives, though. I like, that's good. That's good because it is a big change. It's a huge change, and I'm glad that everybody is on the same page with being aware that it is, and that it's not something small. It's not something that you can just gonna make this decision today and tomorrow.
I think our society is growing to the point of maturing in do we they're making those decisions with a lot of knowledge. We're not just having kids because we think we have to have kids or because our parents have kids. That's just something you do. Society's accepting things more and more. It's becoming more of does this fit your lifestyle?
Yeah.
More than
Brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Thanks, Rocco.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good topic.